Good day, Melanie, and welcome to Maya's child chart reading, right? So, your baby is actually about the same age as my baby. Her birthday is August 30th, 2012. I was like, how old is this child? How should I read this? But let me start by hiding this panel because it's ugly. So, I am just going to talk to you about this like a homegirl. Let's get into it. Uh, look at the chart, but I'm feeling like first you need to know some characteristics so you can understand what she's developing into. Although it looks like she's a hard worker, she is the prize. She runs the brand, she is the brains, right? So, who is Maya developing into? Who is Maya developing into? And then we'll get into all this good stuff from the chart. You can better understand how to guide her through this life. She is a teacher. You know what the funny thing is? Uh, Mercury, which is the sign of the teacher, rules both Gemini and Virgo. Your daughter has her sun in Virgo at the 26th degree. The 10th house is the career house, right? What you're known as. Her sun is conjunct her Mercury, right? Teacher. You were raising a teacher. Uh, Spiritual teacher, quite possibly, because this is Mun or Nunk. Mun or Nunk. Nun or monk, right? But it feels like she's just so dedicated to her job. Could she teach in a school that is religious or spiritual? Possibly. But wherever she teaches, she's gonna be like, "You did you watch Matilda? I think everybody's seen Matilda. She's Miss Honey. Like she gives hope to the kids that didn't have hope at home. Like she is put in position uh, to be." And I'm looking like, where do I see that? A mom to people that don't have moms. I see her Cancer energy, but where's that moon? That moon is at the second degree, and her Eros is at the second degree. So any markers that are at the same degree feed into the same channel. The second degree is a Taurus degree. That's how you build, right? So she's building based upon her relationship with you, first and foremost, things she has learned through you guys. You guys have a karmic bond. As a matter of fact, her relationship with the whole maternal side of your family is karmic. Like she could have even been a great, great, great grandmother that came back this time around. But where she is pulling her desire to go forth and create new patterns in your family from is that subconscious memory of the things that happened during that lifetime and the lingering patterns that are in this lifetime. So poverty, uh, abuse, control issues, power dynamics, secrets, could be even difficult use of magic in other lifetimes, but just overcoming all the darkness and then teaching in a way that is more like this than to take in control. That's why her Mars is in Scorpio. She got too powerful. Her will is sort of like it's my way or no way. And in this life, she is learning discipline, self-discipline. So the last card, mentor. Didn't I say that she's going to be like a parent for people that don't have parents when she teaches? She's being put in the position to be a blessing for others. So in some ways, your boo-boo is paying back penance on behalf of your family line. She took I don't want to say L, but she took on the debt for your mom's, your side of the family. So now we're going to get into this chart and I'm going to go. I'm going to try to stay house to house, but I'm just going to go where I'm guided. Because right now my eye is being drawn to the fact that there are three things at the sixth degree. The sixth degree is a Virgo degree, which rules her sun, but it is a being of service degree. This is especially important because I said she's healing your family line, right? You see that Chiron in fourth? So whatever happened to her at 4 years old, whatever happened with your family dynamic, right? That was the initial wound that is going to give her the fuel to do what she does going forward in connection to children. Oh, there's another sixth degree. Something that happened when she was 8, a fated event that re-triggered what happened at 4. There was also a big change that happened with her that changed sort of her personality around the age of 6. And she will use all of this energy as a transformation point in her career. It's the thing that makes her stand out in her field, or will make her stand out in her field eventually. But in her reputation in general, you can say her field or her reputation, because she will always be a teacher. She will always be a mentor. She will always be somebody who is giving her knowledge and wisdom to other people, because she can't help it. Like, she has a mind that can see the imperfections or the imbalance in things. And then immediately she wants to fix it, or she knows how to fix it. That's where that Virgo kicks in. Virgo rules health, fitness, nutrition, right? Anything that we are required to do to have a good functional time in these bodies. So I'm getting mental health being as something that will be important to her, or something that she might help other people with, just because her sun is in Virgo next to that Mercury. And there's some eighth house energy, lots of eighth house energy here. That fated event, and then that 12th house, which is her subconscious. So there's a lot of old residue that needs healing. And ironically enough, it looks like her past life relationship is where she had her own darkness. Now, this relationship will come back around in this life. It's like the person she gets with is so hot or so wealthy or just so wonderful, right? That everybody else tries to insert themselves in their relationship. Or that's what the past pattern was. It does look a little bit like it's going to happen again in this life. You might be able to hold her hand through that. But in this life, she is walking away from being codependent in connections to learning to stand on her own 2 feet. There is something about that relationship that is really a turning point for her, and that will not come back around until the time she's 18 and a half, 19. Just so you know, to look out. 18 and a half, 19, during her North Node return, she will meet somebody who is that past life partner. Now, what they decide to do with it in this life and how they expand, her goal was to merge or to learn a lot from this relationship so that she could take that forward with her. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean she has to break up with that person, but in the event that that person continues to be tempted by the people who try to separate them, because that's a big part of her goal this life, then she will move forward on her own and sort of become that, I don't want to say recluse, but very protective of herself. But in finding herself, she will find the soulmate that she came for, like a blessing of a soulmate, one that would not cheat. And you just need to keep this in the back in your mind. But she has the advantage because she's always her soulmate, or they're always spiritually with her. She's never alone. And that's sort of what keeps her like going and excited, even if she doesn't know like why. She always has her guardian angel on her side, and she's very powerful astrally. So having your ascendant, your rising at Scorpio at the 21st degree, the 21st degree is a Sagittarius degree. She's the phoenix. She's rising from the ashes from whatever occurred in another life. It looks like very possibly there's something that you might have suffered while she was pregnant. That's what the 12th house planets also are. The pain that she felt in the womb. And with it being in the sign of Scorpio, which is water, it's emotional. So whatever depression is, that's what I'm sensing here, that you went through during pregnancy, she still carries that with her some. And it actually got re-triggered this year at 12 for her to process through. Like, she has to let it out over time. So if you're noticing any angst from her, it's because this is a 12th house year and she's really dealing with the feelings that aren't necessarily hers, but they're being brought up to clear. Because technically it's for the line that she's clearing out these things. As she goes through these difficulties, like the mild depression and stuff, learning how to handle them are tools that she's adding to her arsenal. And why is that? Because her Venus is at the 13th degree. That's a degree of self. It's an Aries degree. It actually rules her first house. She is her value. She is her thing. She is her prize. So a whole bunch of stuff is going to get loaded into her Rolodex of information so that when the time comes, she can just spit it back out to other people as they need to hear it. It's like being put through a bunch of different experiences so that you're prepared for any outcome and you can handle anything. She sort of gives me the energy of a ER doctor in an interesting way. You know how every doctor has a thing they usually specialize in, right? She got a little piece of all the stuff, so she doesn't have one specialty, just so she will be available for any case that comes along. With her Jupiter in 15th, which is the ruler of her chart with it being a Sag, growth through expansion, growth through wisdom. She will learn a lot through reading, through connecting with other people who believe in the same thing as her and believe in different things. She's going to pick up information from everybody, but mostly it seems like foreigners or growing up somewhere that's at least 2 to 3 hours away from where she grew up, just so she can expand her own belief system outside of the fact that her thought processes are highly connected to what happens in her home, what's happening in her family. The good thing about this is as her day-to-day life improves, her mindset can improve about the ideas of family, her roots, where she came from, just her emotional disposition in general. It's something that she's building over time. It's not rich, but it's well off. I don't even think she would want to be necessarily rich because of everything that comes with it. But it gives the energy of somebody who's like Miss Honey. I really keep getting Miss Honey. Like she has her house, she has everything she wants. Her life is great. Everybody in that neighborhood or that town that she moves to knows her. Like she's the person that says hi at the grocery store. And it's because secretly, you see this 28th degree? That's her series. That's her nurturing energy. What she needs to feel loved and cared for and what she gives to other people. That is at the same degree as her Saturn. So her contract, sneakily, is for her to be caring or showing motherly energy. And I was saying earlier, there's something that lets me know she's a mother to other people. But it's that 28th degree. That's the final degree of Cancer. That's the matriarch. She used to be the matriarch of your family line. I'm 100% sure. But sneakily, she is going around because the contract is in the 11th house. This means through other people out in the community, out in the collective, out in the world, will be held or touched by the way that she cares and what she needs for nurturing, which is words of affirmation. That's her love and language. She needs to hear it. She needs to know she's accepted. She needs to understand processes fully. So if ever there was a case that something bad happened to her, she would need to understand like why bad things happen to people. She would need to understand how to heal from it. Her mind is her playground, and it should not be left to wander, to roam. That's not good for her. She needs somewhere to put all her mental energy. This is a child I would take to the library all the time, the science center, the fair, just anywhere that she can learn and let out that energy that overwhelms her. Her day-to-day life, especially being a Virgo, is so important to what she does because it's in Taurus. That means it needs to build slow and steady. She needs to get into the pattern of knowing that things change or understanding change. So you might even want to start teaching her stuff like astrology or introducing her to, there's a book that I am about to get from Amazon. Let me see if I have it in my cart. And please ignore all my weird ones. I'd be deep in my research. Oh, it's the first one at the top. It's not you, it's your energy. How your energy is creating chaos in your life. And in this moment, I'm getting the fact that I need to add actually, where's her chart? Chaos to it. But in general, her chaos energy is that 12th house, that subconscious past life residue. Like it could give her anxiety and make her feel anxious sometimes. Chaos, where is that one? But because she has so much mental power, it's like what she thinks it becomes. So if she thinks stuff is going to go wrong, and suddenly it will just back that up and she'll believe that it's like, oh, this life is meant to be A, B, C, and D. But it's because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's how powerful her mind is. So affirmations would be important for somebody like her. Everything that you're teaching her, keep in mind, is going to be her transforming part because her moon, that second degree moon, which is a representation of her relationship with you, is connected to her joy in life, her spark in life. You are, it's a heavy responsibility, but I mean, you had the baby, right? You are teaching her all the skills that she needs subconsciously to be happy in life when she steps out away from you, particularly goes through that relationship, goes through that job, goes through those things. She needs to be able to look back on the things that her mama taught her, the words that her mother told her to help her get through it. So her chaos is at the 16th degree. Yep, that relationship once again. No, that chaos is going to be in that relationship. You're going to have to hold her hand through that one, but there's no way to avoid it because that 16th degree rules her phallus. Phallus is a major turning point that you can't change. You can't avoid that. It's going to happen, right? But it's a change in herself, a change in her belief system. Maybe at some point she felt like if she had a partner that would like bring her life together and stuff, only when she learns that I am whole and happy by myself and love does not define me, does the love that she deserves and craves come along. Something that she had not learned in other lives. That's the one thing she wants for herself. Besides that, everything else she's doing is clearing the way for the family line. Now, in the book I was talking about, especially now that we know about her chaos energy, which is at the 16th degree, which is a Cancer degree. It's based upon her emotions. It's that Scorpio moon, baby. So, oh, she got a Scorpio moon. That means she's jealous. That means if she has a husband and somebody trying to sleep with them all the time, that is going to stress the shit out of her. People being jealous about their relationship and all that. So, this is the book. She might not be old enough to read it yet, but you can read it. It's only 162 pages, right? And find ways to implement the knowledge that you find it into her life so it's already in her head for when the time comes. The advantage you're getting now is you are being prepared to know how to handle an amazing person or somebody who's being built into an amazing person, but they're being built through past life difficulties and everything that you had to pass forward to her from the things that happened in your life. So it's not you, it's your energy, how your energy is creating chaos in your life. This is just going to give you the tools, the knowledge, right? To help wind down that subconscious energy, that 12th house energy that keeps her up and makes it hard to sleep. She's fighting in the astral. She's doing things in the astral. Her power is mostly outside the realm. So that's why when she thinks about something too hard, stuff happens or falls behind. Lord forbid her enemies really piss her off. Like this is the type of child technically. Like Mars and Scorpio, what would that be? That's like if somebody pisses you off and you get mad, you think about it for a while, the next day you woke up and they like got in a car accident. No exaggeration. In that instant, if somebody pisses her off, they might stub their toe on something. It's just very instantaneous because it's like, you know how in Final Destination you'll see stuff move around and you never get to see like death in action? That's how her power works when you have Mars in 12. It's moving stuff around that nobody else notices. But for her, it's in alignment with her feelings, her emotions, her trauma, everything that's built up in the sunken space. So finding her an outlet for that would be great. Art would be good. Her sixth house is what she needs to be doing every day: painting, gardening, touching grass. She needs to be in the earth in order to balance out all that energy that is going to be coming through her. It can be transmuted into pain. Transmuted from pain into power. She just has to have the tools. This is me running. So she needs to know that, hey, when you start feeling like little shaky feeling, you know how you get mad and your hands start tingling? Go touch grass, baby. If you feel that bolt of power hit you and you're overwhelmed, if you can't locate the sensation or you know what it is that's bothering you and it overwhelms you, go run. Go run for a second, baby, so you can calm down and think. She just needs to take care of her mind and have a lot of coping mechanisms for being such a powerful individual. That's the main thing you need to know. This woman, child, is going to be amazing. You are going to be so proud of her, but because she is going to be such a well-built machine to help others, there are many things that she is going to be going through. This year that's coming up, that's her 13th year. That's going to be a first house activation. During this year, there are going to be big moves, big turning points for her in discovering herself. I believe this is the year that you would introduce new stuff like spirituality, belief system, take her on a vacation, let her see another culture. She's going to discover herself through seeing things outside of what she already saw. Like what she saw in the past or what happened during this 12 years is what she's going to be working through healing for the rest of the time going forward, right? But this age that's coming up is amazing and beautiful because it's the first time that she starts to see a glimpse of like, wow, this can happen and this can happen. It's like the dreamer is going to be ignited in this year. And then the next year, she'll start working on her sense of self, her value, the fact that she is like remarkable. And most people will try to beat that out of her because they don't have this setup. They don't have this glow. They don't have this light. You are raising, ma'am, a beautiful healer for future people, like, and in a big way. When you have a 10 house sun, many, many people will know you. The energy I was feeling was like, you know, somebody who's like the town doctor or the town therapist and everybody in that small town knows them. That's the energy there. Who she is going to take her very far. And you are just making sure that as she goes far, 144 on the clock, she has all the tools to handle the things coming towards her. And the amount of power, like, I don't know if you've seen the movie Lucy, but you need to. She needs to watch it with you, right? The amount of power that is going to be streaming through her in order to help other people. She's going to do really good at helping other people, like all the time, like blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to her stuff, it's going to make her feel like, and that's when she needs that grounding energy and that stuff that you teach her during this age that's coming up. 13 is very pivotal. It is also the shaping of her Venus because it's at the 13th degree. So you are teaching her a value of herself this year. And so I'm super late, but I would not have mentioned anything about her turning 13 this year and noticed that without it. Maybe most people don't need to get that charge to their 13th. That's after the cycles are set. Because you can't prevent anything that's going to happen. Imagine if I had something bad to tell you, then I would have had to tell you, and then you wouldn't have been able to stop it. That would have been bad. So I will consider that. Child chart readings, but only after they're 12, after everything's already set. So thank you. And I will have another one of your readings on the way shortly.